Welcome back. So I finally have a better ship. The problem is I don't have the mechs to use right now in a mission. And there are missions. Let's go talk with people. Commander Mattis, I'm sorry about what happened on Weldry, with Saraju and all. If only we'd known, I'd have invaded the director myself to get him back, but now it's too late. You said that you knew him, that you fought side by side. I did have that privilege, yes. I didn't know him as well as you did, of course, but we were together in the trenches of the Fajaldir campaign, and I raised the glass with Saraju in the canteen on more than one occasion. Did he ever show you that enormous knife he used to carry? The kukri? Yeah. Don't see too many of those outside of the Free Worlds League. These days, kukri blades are mostly associated with the 4th regular hussars. Not Massets, though. He claimed he'd inherited the Earth Blade beauty from his grandfather, who'd inherited it from his grandfather, and so on, all the way back to the family's origins on Terra. During the Fajaldir campaign, I saw him use that blade against the pirates twice his size. Split the bastard's skull like a rotten, right? It was horrifying beautiful at once. You don't see that kind of skill every day. I wonder what happened to that old blade of his, though. It wasn't with him on Weldry. The old man must have felt like he lost a piece of himself when the directorate took it away. What did you think? When you think of the old man, what jumps into your mind? Family. The old man was so damn proud of his family and heritage. There wasn't a drop of noble privilege in his brain, but the Montgomery name carried weight. Hard as nails since the dawn of time, his father used to tell him. Those were his family words and personal creed, and I can personally attest to their accuracy. When we were fighting alongside the Royal Guard on the Fajaldir campaign, a pirate-driven hunchback managed to flank us. Decker was piloting a Locust at the time, and the bastard took its leg clean off. The Locust went down hard, and Decker blacked out. He was a dead man. There was nothing we could do to keep that hunchback from getting a foot for his cockpit. And it would have if Masfit had come charging in with his Centurion. His first punch took the hunchback's main gun clean off. He was totally matter of fact about it. It wasn't a desperate swing or panic move. He just calmly put his fist into the pirate's mech's weapon pod, grabbed it, and wrenched it free from its moorings. It was like, I don't know, watching a farmer uproot a tree stump. You know, workman-like. And all the while, we could hear the pirate over an open channel, screaming and cursing as he desperately tried to fight back. The old man took the hunchback apart piece by piece. Imagine a veteran prize fighter locked in a cage with a snot-nosed kid with no rules or referees in the sight. He put on a clinic for everyone to see. The rest of the pirates broke rank and fled when they saw what happened to their friend. Can't say I blame them. In their place, I'd have done the same. That's what the Montgomerys were. Warriors for as long as anyone could remember. Born to fight and tempered on the battlefield, and Saraju was the last. He never had any children, you know. The Montgomery line died with him. Thanks for the talk. Yeah, James, I like that. And so I think with he. Got a few minutes to chat. I'd like to catch up. Alright. Garo and Darius.
Catch you later, Commander. Yes.
Commander Mattis, welcome to my corner of the command center. From here I can provide Mr. Olivier with advice and information whenever he needs it. I want to be a resource to you as well. In keeping with my role as a restoration liaison, I will give you whatever additional information I can about our campaign moving forward. Come see me after any major operation and I'll share whatever I can. I'd like to discuss the state of our war against the Directorate. Things are going well enough, Commander. Our initial attack on Weldry was an enormous success despite the psychological costs of what we discovered there. Still, the Directorate's atrocities have steeled our resolve. I've never seen Lady Rano so determined. Out of curiosity, Commander Mattis, What did you think of her speech? I recorded it, you know. The podcasts are on their way to every corner of the Directorate's base. It sounded raw, from the heart. Mastiff would have been proud. Good. That's what I was hoping to hear. The presumption of authenticity will carry us far. For what it's worth, Lady Arano meant every word she said. But the people may not see it that way. Espinosa's propaganda machine will do everything in its power to tarnish our accomplishments and drag us through the dirt. I can imagine the headlines now. Police and civil servants cut down by weapons of war. Dangerous convicts set loose by a traitor, endangering nobles and commoners alike. A dangerous narrative, and one that we'll have to counter at every turn. With luck, many of our people will believe that what they've heard in our broadcast over the Directorate's propaganda, but I fear that Espinosa hardline supporter will be far less eager to listen. If we fail to turn them against the Directorate, we run the risk of ongoing violence, even after we liberate their home systems. That's why messages like Mia's speech are so important. Espinosa's supporters just saw the condition of unweltery with their own eyes. You don't think that will be enough to sway them? Some will be moved by our message, yes, but others will continue to embrace the Directorate's lies. These are people who've benefited from Espinosa's policies. They won't jump to condemn a system that has lined their pockets with wealth, and they won't want to feel complicit in its crimes. Capturing their loyalty will be a long, hard battle. We won't win it overnight. If the Directorate is using propaganda, we need some of our own, get it? Sadly, yes, if we're going to win this war, we need to rally the Aurigan people, including a percentage of Espinosa's supporters. They have to see that we're better than the Directorate. Again and again, until our message is impossible to ignore. For you, that means military victories. For me, it means more broadcast, spin, and outreach. Public opinion is just another battlefield, and I'll be knee-deep in the trenches until the day I die. You're new to this crew, so tell me about yourself. I'd be happy to, but honestly, Commander, I've been so consumed with matters of war of late that I won't even know where to begin. Tell me about who you were before Kamiya's exile and the restoration. A noble scion, much the same as you were, from what I understand. As a fellow noble, I'm sure that you already know more than most about my upbringing. It was a life of great privilege and even great expectation. I spent my early years invested in academic pursuits, the study of history, mathematics, and statecraft. I strove to excel at every subject, anything to avoid disappointing my mother and father. The extent to which they would come to disappoint me is cruel irony, but it's one that I've come to accept. What kind of expectations did you have to meet? Do you know House Madeira's motto? Behold our splendor. I had the familial obligation to live extravagantly, and to do so within the public eye, but I was also expected to develop my intellect. My life was a 50-50 split between carousing and academic study. In truth, I felt like I was leading two lives, and putting on a show in both. But I'll never complain about my upbringing. I have enjoyed great advantages that most children of the periphery could only dream of. Must be hard to have your own parents betray you. Oh, it is. Nothing could be harder. When Kamiya retakes her throne, there will be a reckoning, and the Directorate's collaborators will be tried for their crimes. My mother and father will be at the front of that list. And as terrible as it feels to say it, they'll deserve whatever punishment they receive. Let's talk about something else, okay? Your apologies are unnecessary. By any metric you care to mention, I've lived a charmed life. The hardships of the past 3 years don't erase the lifetime privilege I enjoyed before Espinosa's coup. It would be dishonest of me to pretend that they did. But still, alright. Tell me about Goldra, what kind of world it is. A truly beautiful one. You should really travel there sometime after all this is over and see it for yourself. Imagine lush green lowlands giving way to mile upon mile of white sand coastline. Sandy beaches kissed by warm, salty seas. And soft rain perfumed with saffron and cardamom. That's not to mention the wildlife. Close your eyes and imagine, Commander. Shield terns willing and soaring, their brilliant plumage glittering in the sunlight. Leviathans, sablefish flashing silver beneath the waves. Dolphinfish leaping, breaching the surface of the water riotous streaks of yellow and green. Places like Goldra are special, Commander Mattis. They must be preserved. This is what we're fighting for. Something unspoiled and unique and ours. Something that reminds us of how good the periphery can be. Okay, let's Sagama. Alright. So, that is... Alright, Yang. Are you liking the new ship? Love it. She's a big old ship, Commander. This bucket can carry more tonnage than I know what to do with. And the mech bay? Man, that mech bay. Do you have any idea how tough it is to refit a mech on a Leopard? Other mech techs won't even try. You've got no room to maneuver, no room to do anything. The odds of getting killed in some horrific industrial accident can go right through the roof. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I like the new ship, and specifically like the fact that it isn't my job to keep her flying anymore. I guess that puts Lady Arano in my good graces, which is rare for a wannabe Empress. Lord Madeira too. Hell, even Lady Centrella. As long as they let us keep the Argo, they're all fine with me. Alright. Farah.
What you need?
Patching up the Argo must have been an enormous job. How'd you do it? Oh, it wasn't just me. I had the team working under me. Over 200 of Lurton's most accomplished engineers, electricians, and shipwrights. It was really pretty amazing, I've got to say. Shouting from a megaphone at a team of hundreds, watching them hang on my every word. How much did Lady Arano pay for all of that? Oh, it wasn't Lady Arano. The payments came directly from House Centrala. That was a figure of speech. They were indirect payments, of course, routed through countless intermediaries to obscure where the money was coming from. But yeah, the Centralas paid for it. Not as... Now, as to how much the Centralas paid, I honestly have no idea. I'm sure the figure was astronomical, but still cheaper than getting dragged into an unwanted war, eh? If the ship turns out to be as important as Lady Arano thinks it will be, then it was money well spent. Had you ever managed a team that big before? Never in my wildest dreams. Okay. Let's talk about something else. I have some questions about the ship. What can you tell me about the Argo? A fair amount, Commander. I've been researching this ship for several months. Interstellar produced just... Boeing Interstellar produced just 2 of these beauties back in 2762. They're intended to follow behind the first wave of exploratory missions, supporting multiple surveyor, terraformer, and colonizer teams on deep survey missions. Although she's far too large to land on a planet, her docking collar system allows far smaller dropships like your Leopard to come along for the ride. The Argo is a mobile space station, in a sense providing supplies, temporary habitation for teams on dangerous missions in unsettled space. Exploration vessel or no, she sounds ideal for our purposes. She is, and with 57,000 tons of cargo space, she has all the room we need for supplies, spare equipment, personnel, you name it. In fact, her hold is so vast we'll have no trouble storing as many mech chassis and partial mech salvage as you can get your hands on. Why don't we see more ships like the Argo out here? The Argo is the product of her era. She lacks the armor or maneuverability to function in battle, and she's vastly outclassed in size and firepower by even the smallest warships. She's a peacetime ship meant for peacetime exploration duties and planned with a focus on long-term orbital deployment. It was her non-combat design that ultimately led to her abandonment. In an earlier era, she might have been seen widespread usage, but the fall of the Star League and the near-constant state of war we've endured since then has rendered the Argo little more than a forgotten experimental footnote in the history of dropship production. Sad really, in her own way, the Argo represents the back seat that science and exploration have taken in the pursuit of military goals. Arguably? I don't need to ask if the Argo. If we're gonna be part okay. Well, I'm an actual doctor, but not medical kind. I hold 2 doctorates, one in physics, the other in mechanical engineering. Now I'm hauling around in a lost tech wonder with a crew of merry pirates seeking my fortune. It's funny, the places life takes you. Okay, I've got the elevator pitch. Just give me a long version. Yeah, sure, if you like. Let's see where to begin. Well, I was born on regulars in the Free Worlds League. My parents were academics, I know, big surprise, and I spent most of my early years bouncing back and forth between their suburban apartment and the Ferdowsi. My Baba June live-in dropships. Or Baba June, who was that? My grandfather. He'd carved out a nice little business for himself, running a taxi service for pilgrims traveling to and from Dar es Salaam. Is the center of Islamic faith in the Lurin Commonwealth. Ooh, interesting. As much as my father frowned on Baba John's old-fashioned lifestyle and beliefs, he wasn't blind to how much I loved the old man. And so he occasionally consented to let me board the Ferdowsi and go along for the ride. I would always cherish my memories of those voyages. The warmth behind Baba John's smile, the excitement of leaving Regulus behind, chatting with the pilgrims, getting lost in SARS, and eating prepackaged, alright, out of a shiny tin. Those times are all crystal clear in my memory, as if they happened yesterday. Alright. But I've come to think of life as I've chosen, of the life I've chosen as a way of honoring my Baba Yon. By carving my own path among the stars, I'm doing what I can to keep his memory alive. That sounds trite, I'm sure, but sue me. It's what I've chosen to believe. Well, what about after you left home? Where did you study? I actually spent a little time in the Lurin Commonwealth before I pursued my studies. Long story, that, but suffice to say that it was its own kind of learning experience. When I did decide to get higher education, I wound back in the Free Worlds League. I did my undergrad studies at the University of Atreus, then went back to Xi'an University, right? In the Capellan Federation to earn my doctorates. For a top free school with, right? Anyway, alright. Have you always wanted to be? Alright. I wanted to be a statistician, you know, a nice, quiet life alone in the ivory tower. That's what my personal dropship was going to be called. Preparing mathematical models and studying survey results. So, you know, every girl's dream. I guess, didn't you ever want to do something more, I don't know, exciting? Like being a MechWarrior? No. Much as I love the idea of stomping around in the giant robot, I'm not huge on the whole murdering people with laser things. It doesn't really square with my personal beliefs. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to work with MechWarriors. If I wasn't, I would hear actual firing weapons. No, it isn't for me. You still seem pretty enthusiastic about it. Why didn't you follow through? Well, interests change. I mean, I still like statistics, but it's really more of a hobby now. Is that weird? People have told me it's weird. I don't know. Plotting graphs and forecasting the future events calms me. It's like my own little way of using math to bring order to chaos. And besides, everyone needs a hobby. I know for a fact that Darius Crockett's. Okay. Alright. Alright. You know, making thermite with aluminium cans and belts and or that kind of thing. Yeah, remember, you like that guy? I married him. A long story, but the important bit is, in the 6 months before the annulment, I learned that I had a real talent with machines. When Heiner blew out the pyro relay or took the tire iron to the handsaw, I was the one who could put it back together again. I found a great deal of peace in that. Can we discuss? Okay. Alright, doctor. She's a Muslim. Interesting. There we go. What do you think of the Argo? You gonna be able to fly this beast? She's different. Piloting won't be a problem, but I can say I'm happy about living on a piece of lost tech. Too many too many question marks for my taste. That's it, I get the necessity. The leopard is just too damn small. Anyway, as long as we're able to restrain ourselves from pushing any mysterious buttons, we should be okay. And that's what I keep telling myself anyway. Life aboard the Argo should continue to improve as Dr. Murad brings new sections of the ship online. So we've got that to look forward to. Ship has potential, I'll give her that. Yeah, and I can't wait to see how she develops over time. Personally, I'm rooting for a day spa, but I'm easy, I'll take what I can get. I got some questions. Collecting stories about the crew. Alright.
Commander?
Okay. So, let's see those contracts. And there are missions that are more or less level 3, which I'm certainly not. Let's see the status of things.
Calculating course now, Commander.
Yeah, I don't need the Argo is active. Okay. It's gonna take a couple of days for... Wait, she can actually... Oh yeah, okay. Though she takes up 2 slots. The Argo.
That work order is complete, boss. Top-notch work, if I may say so.
All right.
All right, I'll get the team on it right away.
Receiving you. Waiting for orders.
What's up?
Good to go.
Orders. Receiving you. Receiving you.
Okay, here we are.
I've got the financial report.
Very well. Proceed. Let's deploy.
Receiving you. Ready for order.
Something I can do?
Receiving you.
New weapon systems available. New weapon systems available.
Kick off your shoes. Make yourself comfortable.
Alright, let's begin then. Wait, actually, wait.
Job's done, Commander.
Alright, let's do this. Alright, I'll need better weapons, and I'll need to refit some of the mechs, obviously. Trade negotiations between the Capellan Confederation and the planetary government have broken down. We believe that if we capture and held a local government military base in the Luritan system, we will be able to force them back to the negotiating table. Your job is to take the base and hold it until our forces occupy it.
Command interface initiated.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna go down the way you think. Commander, we're getting intel about the base's location. Move out to a position where we can get our eyes, okay?
Ready for action, Commander. Move order received.
Alright. Let's move our mechs. It would be nice to have larger scale fights, to be honest. Or is the possibility.
Position confirmed.
Heading out.
Heading out.
Destroy the turrets guarding the base, I suppose.
Minimal damage on that hit. Good to go.
Confirmed.
Damn, bro. Nice lucky shot.
Enemy down.
Alright, let's deal with the defenders. So there's 2 mechs, probably 2 vehicles as well. And of course a bunch of turrets. So let's move that black shack. Take it down.
All weapons committed.
Ready for orders.
Yes, Commander. Heading out. Attacking from position.
Commander. On the move. Got it.
Okay, that wasn't enough to take it down completely. There's a vehicle. I thought it would be a somewhere around here, but I'll take this. Yeah, that should.
What's up, boss?
Standing by. Coordinates received. Firing all weapons. Hostile eliminated.
All weapons committed.
Another tank goes down.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Yeah, a bunch of cheap mechs are not gonna stop me.
Waiting for orders.
Commander? On it.
Alright, let's move Reckless in that Shadow Hawk. And then I'll use the jump jets. Or not.
Yes, Commander.
I'll jump with both of them, by the way. Down here.
Good to go. Copy that.
Standing by.
Clear to proceed to your next objective.
Alright, the garrison force has been destroyed. We need to
Reporting.
destroy then the defensive
Enemy
turrets.
vehicles eliminated.
Enemy detected.
That's the base. Let's avoid any surprises. So, alright. We're seeing the... Okay.
Additional enemies detected.
On my way.
On my way.
On my way.
Alright, we will need to deal with the power source. Or just the turrets in general. Might not be a turret generator here. At least there's none I can see.
All weapons committed. Target destroyed.
Yep. Location confirmed. Roger. Turret destroyed.
Orders. Coordinates received.
Ready for orders.
Alright, that's another turret.
Destroyed.
Let's take out that final turret then.
Got it.
Good to go.
Okay, I can probably get in range next turn.
Waiting for orders.
But
Moving out.
he, Reckless, can get in range in that Shadowhawk this turn. Fire.
Picked up a blip.
Damage minimal. Internal structure damage.
Engaging multiple targets.
Okay. So they've got vehicles as well. Crap.
Commander. Copy that. Solid connection on that one.
Orders. Position confirmed. Copy that.
Okay, CT destroyed.
One less target.
Waiting for orders. Firing.
Alright, the defense turrets are all eliminated. Just gotta survive against the
Target
local government
destroyed.
reinforcements.
Internal structure damage.
Engaging multiple targets.
Alright.
Aye, aye.
Let me just move closer then with Medusa. And take my shots.
I copy.
Dropship arriving. Prepare to head out.
I hope we can salvage that.
Victory.
Receiving you.
Roger that.
Stabilizing. Engaging coolant system.
The base is ours. Well done. Base taken. Well, I finally got the Panther mech, I guess.
That mech you asked
Alright,
is cleared for fighting.
let's see the mech bay. Okay, maybe I should refit this. What do I have?
Those upgrades you asked for are online, Commander.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Job's done, Commander.
Okay, I think I'll stop right here. Costin signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.